There's this old Steve Vai recording. He's performing live during one of his numerous half-hour guitar solos, when someone in the audience shouts, "All right, mate, we know you're good," basically saying, "Quit showing off and play us some goddamn music." I felt like shouting exactly the same thing at the cinema screen during Warhorse. First off, I'm a big Spielberg fan. He's the most talented filmmaker in the world as far as I'm concerned. But occasionally he makes something like this, which doesn't even feel like a film. It feels like a 2.5-hour Spielberg solo. He's the biggest star in the show by far. Everything else takes a back seat, including the actors. Obviously, the main character is a horse, and it takes a hell of a lot of directing to get a good performance out of an animal. And I'm reminded of this passage in a David Mamet book where he says, take footage of a leaf falling from a tree, and then pair it with footage of a deer raising its head. And it will look like the deer is reacting to the leaf, when in fact the two shots could have been taken years apart in separate countries. Every time this warhorse reacts to something in a stupidly human way, you just think, nice one, Steve. And this wouldn't be so bad by itself, but you get the feeling that he's done the same thing with human actors too. The film is perfectly cast, but there isn't a single standout performance amongst them, because all of the acting is done with the camera and in the editing room. Every character was in this film for a reason. There was a specific purpose, which is fine, that's how it's meant to be, but it was way too obvious from the outset what those reasons are. The cinematography is painstakingly perfect. Every shot is spectacular in every possible way. The sets are astonishing to look at, and a great deal of enjoyment can be taken from just admiring these aesthetics. But it's done to the point that nothing in Warhorse looks or feels real. You're reminded every step of the way that everything you see has been carefully deliberated by people working very hard behind the camera, and the last thing you want to think about when you're watching a film like this is the people working behind the camera. And in the same way, John Williams' score is fantastic. You can just sit and listen to that shit all day, but it was just too much for the film. The emotional output of the music was far greater than my emotional output watching the movie. The music overreacts to the action. There's an old Persian proverb, Persian rugs are perfectly imperfect and precisely imprecise. It's the imperfections that give things their character and authenticity. There are no interesting little imperfections or intricacies in this screenplay that would have given Warhorse its emotional legs. Instead, everything is handed to us on a plate. It's like film viewing for dummies. We're told what to feel and when to feel it. There's no challenge and therefore no payoff in a film like this. No doubt there is some astounding craftsmanship to be seen in Warhorse, and Spielberg is the best craftsman around, but they lay it on way too thick, and that's why I'm giving this film 4 out of 6 stars. If you enjoyed this review, please click like and subscribe to my channel, and if you have anything to say, you know where to put it. Bye, au revoir, doi, see you next time.